On Two Wheels this week, we go trail riding with CCM in the Lake District. Wayne talks about number plates and Jeff takes a trip to the Bol D'or in the south of France. The last time I was wearing gear like this, I was trail riding round the Pyrenees. Now, you don't necessarily have to go that far to have loads and loads of fun. You can come here to the Lake District and ride a CCM. This is not so much a trail riding holiday, more a chance to sample the delights of off-road riding, as Peter Swift explains.
We're all up here in the lakes for what we call a CCM factory ride-out, which means that we all come up to the Lake District for 3 days and ride Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And really it's to introduce people either for the first time to either off-road riding or in fact to CCM itself, because we're the only British manufacturer of off-road motorcycles. And a lot of people have tried off-roading but haven't tried a CCM. Right. And when we get them up here and they have a go on one of the bikes, they fall in love with it. I have.
Right, so who's it aimed at then? Is it potential customers, existing customers, or anyone, or what?
Well, it's aimed at all ages, all walks of life. We've got people on here from 18 to 65 up for a weekend, and some of them it's their first time off-road, and some of them are ex-motocross riders who are trying trail riding for the first time. Right. So it's really aimed at anybody who fancies having a go.
Right. So how often do you do this? Is it a monthly thing or what?
We do it every month through March to November. We don't bother December, January, February, simply because the weather gets a bit rough.
It's a bit rough now, never mind January.
Well, that depends whether you go in the water or not, doesn't it, Paul?
I didn't go in the water. I got through it in one.
You did flipping well, actually. Bloody well.
I did all right. It's all very organised, this. We're not just blasting around the hills making a mess of the countryside. It's all done under the guidelines of the TRF, the Trail Riders Fellowship, in case you didn't know. And our guide here is Kev Moore, who's a TRF man. So, Kev, what kind of places are you going to be taking us?
Well, we're going to be going everywhere we're going to go today is legal. What called RUPs, which is a road used as a public path, UCRs, unclassified roads, and boats, byway open to all traffic. So everything we do on is legal.
Right.
The bikes have got to be legal and taxed. Yeah, it is the same as a public road.
Right, so are we going on rough stuff, wet stuff, muddy stuff, what stuff?
Well, what we'll do first is gauge. We've got like 10, 12 riders. I'll gauge what ability they all are, and then obviously we go as fast as the slowest man. So if somebody's struggling a bit, we go nice easy stuff. Yep. There's enough up here. You can spend all day on easy roads, you can spend all day on hard stuff.
Right, okay, and everyone goes home happy at the end of it?
Oh yeah, everybody will be laughing.
And aching?
Oh yeah, it's a great day out.
You never know who you'll meet on these trail rides. You could meet somebody really famous and somebody really good on a bike. Simon Paver here, Paris-Dakar man. What's a Paris-Dakar contender, competitor, whatever you call yourself, doing riding round the lakes on a trail with us?
Well, I came up to the CCM factory yesterday to start preparing my bike for this year's Paris to Dakar, because I'm riding for CCM. And so I thought I'd come up and have a couple of days fun on the back of that.
What, with those novices?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It must be pretty frustrating for you being stuck behind people like me.
No, not at all. I really enjoy the general camaraderie of trail riding, and one of the things I like doing is getting people involved in the sport, and that's what these days are all about.
Excellent.
In fact, that's what I do for a day job as well, as I teach people to ride off-road, so I really enjoy that side of it as much as suffering in the desert.
Well, you're giving me a few good tips this morning as well, so we're not holding you up too much, are we?
No, not at all. No, it's great fun.
So what are we using for all this fun in the mud and playing around in the dirt? We're using these, CCM's 1999 model. It's a street legal, road legal trail bike, basically. Single cylinder 600cc engine, Rotax engine, and everything else you'd expect on a decent trail bike. Adjustable suspension, monoshock at the back, Paoli forks up front, decent brakes, and loads of stonking power from the big 600cc lump pull you out of all sorts of problems. It's a fairly tall bike, but it's not over big. It doesn't feel massive when you get on it, and it's not that heavy. Easy to throw around the dirt and have lots of fun on. And a great thing on an off-road bike, they should all have this massive advantage. One of these, an electric start. Easy. The riding too can be as easy or as difficult as you want to make it. You find your own limits and you ride within them. Nobody pushes you to go faster and nobody laughs when you fall off. Let's see what some of the others thought.
I'm having a brilliant time. It's an excellent weekend. I've owned CCMs for the last 20 years, and so when I had the opportunity to come this weekend, because I ordered a new bike, it's been really very, very good so far. I have great camaraderie. It's a great bike. It's a great sport. It's a great weekend. To recommend it to anybody. It's the first time I've been up to the lakes. Usually do Derbyshire or North Yorkshire, so it's nice to get out to a new part of England and see the scenery.
Excellent. You've just taken delivery of your new bike this morning and brought it straight out on the trail, haven't you?
Well, I was clamouring to get in the van last night to have a look at it because they brought it along from the factory, but it was all locked up. So this morning I couldn't wait to get up and have a sit on it and get it running.
So today's the first time you've been out on a trail on this bike, yeah?
Absolutely first time, yeah.
And how is it?
Spot on, absolutely perfect.
So what about the response then? Are you inundated with bookings? Everybody want to come?
Well, we thought that we'd try this out earlier this summer, and the response has been absolutely fantastic. We've been bowled over with it because a lot of people, if they go to a motorcycle shop and want to have a test ride, they're not allowed to. And particularly if it means off-road riding, because the motorcycle dealer doesn't want them to go and take it out and get it dirty. We encourage it. Come with us, get the bike dirty. For £150 you can come up for 2 nights, a whole day's riding, fuel included, guidance from the experts. We follow a TRF guide and you have a great day, and you have the whole chance to spend a day with these people, and then if you like it and buy a bike, you get all your money back off the cost of the bike as well. So it ends up costing you nothing.
I've just thought of a way around this. I've got a clever way here now, because if you went to buy a trail bike and you might only go out on it a few weekends a year, you'd have to insure it, you'd have to tax it. So can I book, say, 5 weekends a year at 150 quid a go with you and save myself buying a bike?
For you, Paul? No. No, it's aimed very much at introducing people to it, and then if they enjoy it, hopefully they'll buy one, because it is great fun. There's one now.
So as the light begins to fade over Windermere, we have to go back to the log cabin, quick shower, and then it's out for lots more drinks with the off-road guys. And then we do it all again tomorrow and the day after. How do we cope? I don't know, but we do. That's just a tiny little look at trail riding. Why don't you try it? You might like it. You don't have to buy a bike, you don't have to spend a fortune. It might not be your thing, but how do you know until you've tried? Last month's International Bike Show was, as expected, a huge success, with over 80 new models on view. Cagiva reported taking 4 £500 deposits for their new MV Agusta F4S on the very first day. Honda's stand 2 was busy as people admired the exclusive Evolution Fireblade. And Suzuki reported massive interest in their new Hayabusa, the bike which it's claimed will come close to 200 miles per hour. And after the break, Jeff takes a trip to the Bol D'or and Wayne talks about number plates.
Regular viewers will know that we've been abroad before, but this time I had a new excuse, joining a trip with MCI Tours down to the south of France for that famous endurance race, the Bol D'Or. But more of that in a later programme. This is about another sort of endurance ride, the 750 miles to get there. The first leg was a thrash across northern France. Pretty uninspiring auto routes most of the time, but they do have regular eateries to brighten the journey, and best of all, I had a new VFR 800 to play with. Passing through villages and traffic-free open countryside, you knew you were in France all right, but we did have one mishap. At our hotel, I asked tour leader Alistair McFarlane what had happened.
Well, we had a young lady on our tour today. She's on a CBR 400, and unfortunately she had soft luggage on the back and the soft luggage came unstuck. I've talked to Emma. Emma's actually in hospital at the moment, but she's recovering fine. She's had a bang on the head and she's in there for observation. She tells me that she checked at Calais that everything was properly adjusted. It seems that a bungee has let go, the soft luggage has moved over, and it's jammed the rear wheel. Now, that's a frightening thing to happen, Jeff, at any kind of speed. But when you're on the autoroute and you're perhaps tramping on a bit, 70, 80 miles an hour, for the rear wheel to lock up, that challenges anybody's skills. And sadly, she went down the road with the bike.
Well, this is it, day 2. When I say this is it, I'm in my hotel room, obviously. But this is the start of the trip from Dijon down to the Bol D'Or. 450 miles today. We did 350 miles yesterday, which was plenty. Ridiculous speeds. Someone had a slight tumble, which we can all do without. But overall, not too bad. I've now got to pack all my bags, which you can see around me here. The sky's not looking too bad. Fairly blue, in fact. Better than it was first thing at 6:30 this morning when Alistair had told us to get up. But it's looking okay, so we should have a good day's riding today. Breakfast over, bags packed and route checked, we were on our way. Yet more auto routes, but following a stop for lunch while the rain subsided, we set off through the magnificent Ardèche Gorge. What a view and what a road. More twists and turns than a politician's answers. This road was mega. I can't show you the best bits because I was enjoying myself too much decking the VFR's pegs, but believe me, it was something else. Eventually, as darkness fell, we arrived in Toulon, where after a good night's sleep, we stopped long enough for the team to carry out some essential, major, and not so essential maintenance, while I made a quick call back to Paul. Hi Paul, morning to you. How you doing? What do you mean it's early? No, it's not. Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock here. It's only 8 o'clock there, isn't it? Forgotten that. I'm in the south of France. I told you I was going. I did, because when I said it, you said Bol to it or something, and I thought you meant Bol D'or. Oh, you didn't mean Bol D'or. You were swearing at me. Oh, sorry, Paul. I hadn't realised that. Anyway, it's very nice here. It's down at Toulon, and the sun's out, and I'm off to the race meeting today. And so, sorry you've missed it, Paul. Perhaps this communication thing, we really ought to get things clear, but not to worry. Okay, anyway, look, I'll see you when I get back. It'll be 2 or 3 days to go, and but have a nice time, won't you? It's raining in Manchester. Oh, well, never mind. Back to bed, Paul. He's hopeless, hopeless. So while Paul languished under the sheets, I asked Alistair about our punishing schedule and the special nature of this trip.
It was a long way from the north to the south of France, but thankfully we had a stopover in Dijon after 350 miles. And if we hadn't decided to go around the Ardèche, it'd have been another 350 miles down here. But for the people who went round the Ardèche, it was 70 miles of just glorious riding and really what made the whole journey worthwhile.
Now we came with you before to Lille back in May. The weather wasn't like this then, but it was like it was yesterday, raining and whatnot. But how different is this one? What's so special about the trip to the Bol?
Well, I think it's a different kind of experience, Jeff. When we're going on tour and we're going to destination cities, we're going to see specific things in specific locations. But here, we're down here partly for the ride on the way down and partly to go and see what's happening down at the circuit. And it does attract a different sort of person. We've got people here, enthusiastic riders on sports bikes, going at a pace and enjoying things like the Ardèche in the way that the Ardèche should be enjoyed. Flat out riding on a good bike.
Tell us something about the hotels that you pick and the restaurants. What sort of work goes into these?
Well, we get we do a recce for every tour, Jeff. We come out over here, we have a good look round, and what we're looking for is 3-star, 4-star quality accommodation. We're taking away people who are middle-aged. We're not going to insult them by putting them in youth hostels or putting them in tented accommodation. We want people to enjoy quality accommodation on a quality guided tour, and that really is the keynote of what we're about with MCI Tours.
So what do his customers have to say?
This is the first time that I've actually used an organised tour service. Previously, I, along with colleagues, have organised my own activities, and whilst that's gives you a lot of freedom, this gives you more freedom in another way, because it means that you can just ring one telephone number and someone does the rest for you. And I have to say that in retrospect, when I look back, I rather prefer that which we are seeing this time. It's a totally different freedom. It means that I can get to places that someone has been to before and help me to get there and help me to tell me what to look for when I get there.
I think what appeals to me about an organised tour is the fact that it's very flexible. If you like, you can have everything organised for you. You can ride as a member of a large group. On the other hand, if you like, just one or two of you. And I think the other thing that's quite good is the informality of it. Again, it's not like a normal package type holiday. There's a lot of friendship, you meet a lot of interesting people, good chance to have a few beers afterwards.
Today's a rest day. It's a Sunday of our 5-day tour, and it's one where we don't really have any requirement to go anywhere. We could go back up to the track today, but we did that yesterday. I think today we're going to have an easy day. I've just taken the opportunity to do a bit of maintenance on the bike, which really is little more than adjust the chain and put some chain lube on it. It was very wet coming down here, so that's been washed off, so that needed to be done. And we're just going to have a quiet day. We're going to go down to look at Toulon, which is a fabulous looking place. It's a Portsmouth on the Mediterranean by the looks of it from here. And we live near Portsmouth, so it'll be interesting to go down and have a look around the town, walk along the seafront, look at the ships and do some cafes.
Well, that's about it from the sunny south of France. But you've heard just a few of the impressions from people who go touring for all sorts of different reasons. Some who joined a party tour like this one and thoroughly enjoyed it. Other people might prefer to travel solo. But whatever you do, explore the potential of your bike, take it abroad, see Europe, enjoy this weather, enjoy the rain too, no worries there. But whatever you do, use your bike. It's wasted doing anything else.
So this week on Two Wheels, I'm going to talk to you about numbered plates. What do you mean, no? Oh, number plates, registration plates. Oh, I see. Oh, right then. Well, I've been and got these from the market. I don't suppose I'll be needing these then, will I? Why don't you say number plates then, or registration plates? Because you know they get on my nerves, these producers. Now, number plates or registration plates, they are for a reason, you know. Well, you obviously know. It's the identifiable marking on the back of your bike. Now then, simple. If you did have a legal number plate, it really would be to your advantage. It will make it easier for the police, your mates or whoever is trying to find your bike should somebody have stolen it. I mean, easy to identify, see it from a distance, isn't it, if it's big? Now when they're small and they've got silly lettering or funny colours, then obviously it's a lot more difficult to see. And what I mean by this is this. You will see this in various purveyors of high quality registration plate outlets. Lots of ability to produce your number plate in different types of scripts. They are illegal. The one you're allowed is simply that one in capital letters. And this choice of beautiful colours, a number of them, fluorescence, metallic, oh no, black on yellow, it's simple as that. So if you fancy the idea of this and you're offered this, try and say no, because you're not really allowed them. So we've said what you're not allowed in the way of digits and the way of colours. So size isn't everything, you do know that, don't you? Little ones, no good. This is obviously illegal. This one, you can't have it. You're not allowed it. You're only allowed a big one. And here we have a big one. So I have been sent by the police, our local constabulary, all sorts of information to assist me and explain to you the legalities. Okay, so here we go. Offence, for example. For a person to forge or fraudulently alter or use or fraudulently lend or... Oh, wait. Are we interested? We're obviously interested, but the fact of the matter is, it's just so detailed and so involved. I'm going to try and simplify it as best I possibly can, because I am relatively simple. Okay, I have the measurements here, and I have an illegal number plate. For example, on this number plate here, the digits are far from the right size. They need to be 2.5 inches tall. They need to be 3/8 of an inch in thickness. They also need to be spaced all round the edges here, and in between each digit 1/2 inch. That's everywhere. So therefore, no statement has been made as towards the overall size of the registration plate. Basically, it's the letter sizings and the spacing, and that'll dictate the general finished size of your number plate. Now, these rules apply to the rear of your number plate on your bike. There are different rules to the front, and of course, that only applies to very, very old machinery. This also applies to agricultural vehicles. So for those of you out there who happen to have a CX500, don't worry. It might not be classed as a motorcycle by your friends, but they often call it a tractor. Right, so there we are. Little number plates, no way. The right sizes, I've told you all about it. Do yourself a favour, get legal. You have been warned, that's the law, so get legal, okay? Now then, it says, you know, minimum sizes, but it doesn't actually say maximum sizes. So take a look at this one.
On Two Wheels next week, Wayne gives us some ideas on bike-style Christmas presents, and Jeff discovers the joys of riding a monkey bike.